Hi there, everyone. Reader's Magnet welcomes you as we share another story with the world. And November 8th is the date to remember. It's the first date of the Festival of Storytellers. It's on its second season. And on that day, the second season of the Festival of Storytellers, you will be able to hear from our storyteller that we have invited today as well. And you will surely look forward to that. Our storyteller today, her name is Diana Grippo. Hi, Diana. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. It's nice to be with you.
It's pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you as well. And Diana's book is entitled Bipolar Chronicle from Crazed to Content. Very interesting topic, very interesting book, very relevant these days. And Diana is here with us. In her book, she has vividly described, right, her journey through her going through having bipolar and Diana, why don't we start with you sharing with us, yeah, the journey, how it started, and we can take it from there.
Okay, well, I graduated from UCLA, and shortly after that, I started hearing voices,
Mm.
and I couldn't sleep to save my life, and I was very confused, and I didn't know what was happening. I didn't want my parents to see me like that, and I ended up living on the streets for several years, and I went in and out of hospitals. They didn't properly diagnose me for a while, and so I just was in and out. And later they diagnosed me as bipolar and put me on lithium, and I got stable on lithium, and I was able to get my teaching credential and teach for many years. I taught high school English and computer applications and really enjoyed it. Uh, I've had many manic episodes through the years and
Oh.
depressive episodes.
Mhm.
And so I know what it is to struggle with the disorder, but there is hope. And in my book, I describe that there is hope.
Yeah, even the title says from craze to content. And I love that part. And we'll get to that part later. And so you said that it started when you were even younger. And for those who are watching us right now, they might have hesitations as well in, sharing this with their loved ones. They might want just to go through this on their own. Um, any encouragement, Diana, that you can share with those that are watching us right now to just be open about it and seek help if they need to.
Yes, definitely seek help. For me, I need medication, and I think
Mhm.
that's the case for most people with bipolar disorder. It's really helpful to have medication, and therapy is also very helpful. Um,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think it's really hard to get better without those two things.
So there you go. So aside from having challenges with sleep, what are the other symptoms of bipolar disorder that if someone, aside from someone who's going through it, from another person's perspective, how can we see through to another person that okay, this person might have this condition?
Right, right. Well, the symptoms when you're manic, you're wired, you have a decreased need for sleep, you
Mm.
spend and give away a lot of money, and you often engage in self destructive behaviors such as substance abuse.
Uh,
And a lot of the times, the substance abuse can eclipse the illness, and people are not properly diagnosed, and that's very sad.
that is very, very sad. And
Right.
intervention has to be done. And some would be misunderstood, right? Just like what you said, substance abuse. And there is indeed an underlying condition. And
Right.
unless we get diagnosed. And
Right.
in your case, Diana, if there is a recent or um, perhaps episode, will you be able to share with us that we can learn from perhaps?
Right, right. Well, I display all those symptoms when I'm manic. I spend and give away a lot of money. Once, when I was manic, I drank after 10 years sobriety. Once I drank
Mm.
after 17 years sobriety. So there's a desire to engage in substance abuse. And a lot of time I would just get out of town, just take all my stuff and go. And that's pretty common as well. Uh,
Mhm.
there's a lot of confusion and there's irritability. I did have a manic episode last year, and I was able to take a paid leave from Apple and go to the hospital and get stable. So bless Apple.
Bless Apple. So Diana right here works just like what she said. She works with Apple on sales, right? You're part of
Right,
Apple. It's the sales department, and
right.
yeah, I mean her work has really helped her and supported her, and for sure with everyone else, they will have the same level of support as well. So during your journey, Diana, what were your coping skills that help you combat depression?
Right. I have three major coping skills.
Great.
One is a spiritual path. I use the 12 steps for sobriety, and I also use the 12 steps for depression. And it's a very spiritual program. And having a belief in something greater than yourself, whether you call it source or God, or it doesn't need to be a deity, whatever it is, it can really give you hope to have a spiritual path. Another coping mechanism I have is music.
Mm.
Listening to music, whether I feel like it or not, can really lift me up. And I love music. It's always been a big part of my life. And I love to listen to music, and it definitely can lift you up. Another coping mechanism is dialectical behavior therapy. It was
Mm-hmm.
developed by Marsha Linehan, and I'd encourage viewers to check out books by Marsha Linehan. It's on dialectical behavior therapy. It has things like mindfulness and opposite action, things like
Mm-hmm.
reaching out when you feel like isolating, or exercising when you feel like lying in bed. And there's some really helpful coping skills in dialectical behavior therapy.
And that's very useful indeed. So you have those three coping skills, especially, well, music. So what's your favorite genre that has really helped you, or favorite song that would really pick you up?
Uh, okay, a song that I love is by Earth, Wind, and Fire, and it's called Fantasy. And
Mm-hmm.
it the lyrics go, every man has a place in his heart, there's a space, and the world can't erase his fantasy. And I love classic rock. That's my main genre, sort of 70s classic rock. But I also like a lot of current too. But I really go back to kind of the 70s, 80s classic rock. It's what I love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's really available to us right now. I mean, you don't really have to have this like huge record player on your phone. You can have it anytime, and music really helps. Now,
Right.
Diana, let's talk about the process of you putting the book together, because it's from a perspective of someone who's currently going through it, right?
Right.
So, was it challenging while you were having within those journey, and you distinguishing between reality and what you are currently feeling? What were the challenges you had while putting it together?
Yes, it was very challenging to go back to those places, but I had taken notes along the way through the years. I had taken notes on my thoughts. And so I had sort of an outline, and
Mhm.
that made it easier. And then when COVID hit, I was working from home
Uh-huh.
and able to write at night. And so I was able to finish it, and it was very cathartic. It was really a cathartic experience.
Hmm. And you
Yeah,
have your book with you right now,
I
right? Can
do.
you show it to our audience, please? There you go. Very lovely cover, Bipolar Chronicles from Crazed to Content. And there's Diana's lovely image right there in front. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
And
welcome.
yes, and definitely, Diana, you also have your website, right? It's
Right.
www dot, not so hard to forget, Diana Grippo, DianaGrippo and you can visit that website. You can get a copy of her book through the website, and you can even explore resources that will even help you, right? If you're going through the process, can you share with us more information about your website as well?
Yes, it has many resources. There are resources for when you're going through a crisis, general resources, multicultural resources,
Mhm.
and hotlines are available. So there are a lot of resources, and there's tips and coping mechanisms, and I'm hoping it will help a lot of people.
Definitely. And you have put so much love into putting your website together, and for sure your book. And again, come the Festival of Storytellers, you will see more of Diana and her book, right? And again, this is not just a book that we pick up for entertainment, but this one can really save lives, right? And save our loved ones. So you will know how to even tell if someone needs help. And again, going back to the title, Bipolar Chronicle from Crazed to Content. And the content part is what really intrigued me. And I'm so sure you are in that part right now. Can you please describe to us the state that you are in right now after going through your journey?
Well, right now I do feel content. I'm happy with my job. I'm happy with my life. I have wonderful people in my life. My parents and I are very close,
Mhm.
and and everything is going really well. And if I just take my medication and get enough sleep, sleep deprivation is definitely a no-no for people with mental illness. It can
Mhm.
induce a manic episode. So you really need to be careful to get enough sleep, eat right, go to therapy, just do the things you need to do to take care of yourself. And there is hope.
There, I was about to say, there is really hope. I mean, currently you might be in that state, the crazy state, but there is hope. There's content that you have to look forward to, just like what Diana is describing to us right now. So Diana, what will be that one key learning that you'd want the readers of your book to take away from it?
Uh, well, it's nobody's fault. Mental illness happens, and sometimes it's a chemical imbalance in the brain,
Mm,
and it is treatable. And so I want loved ones to know what to look for in those they care about, and so that they can spot maybe a manic episode or a depressive episode and know that they can go to a hospital and get help.
mhm,
And I do believe, as I mentioned, that medication is necessary for a lot of people. For me,
mhm.
especially, it's necessary. And therapy is really helpful.
And we cannot emphasize that enough, right? And even, especially if you are the one going through that, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's
Right,
nobody's fault, and
right,
there is hope. You have your medication, therapy, music available for
right.
you, right? So yeah, any other message that you'd want our viewers to yeah, to hear before we wrap up? And yeah, for sure, come the Festival of Storytellers, Diana will be there as well to share more of her stories. But for now, Diana, any message that you have for our viewers, for those who are going through it, and for those who has loved ones or friends who might need help.
Yeah, I think the main message is one of hope, that there is hope and that you can get better. It's treatable. They've
Mhm,
come a long way since I was first diagnosed 34 years ago.
mhm,
And there are a lot of new medications with less side effects. And a lot of the medications used to make you feel like a zombie, and that isn't the
mm,
case anymore. There are some much better medications out there, and so don't be afraid of medication, because sometimes, if someone has diabetes, we don't say, oh, don't take your medication. But a lot of times with mental illness, people are thinking, oh, I'll do it myself. I don't need medicine. But
yeah.
sometimes it really is necessary.
And thank you for sharing that. I mean, somebody needs to hear that for sure today. And for those who are watching us through Facebook or through YouTube, or when we have this replayed, I hope it helped you and anyone that you care for. Misconceptions will be corrected, right, Diana?
Right.
And hope will be ignited for sure with Diana's book, Bipolar Chronicles from Crazed to Content. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, Diana.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been so nice talking with you.
Sure, and we look forward to talking to you again. Uh,
Okay.
Come to Festival of Storytellers. So there you have it, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. You take care.
Okay.